rower, physical therapist, coach and trainer, and a lot of people ask me about hamstrings in rowing, especially when they after a stroke really rock their body forward and feel that they have trouble like sitting up tall like they're asked to. So, therefore this video, a lot of people ask me, is it just a hamstring problem? So let's see how you can quickly assess a little bit of where the problem could be. If you're unsure, consult a physical therapist close to you. But these are a couple of easy things you can do yourself to try at least to assess the problem and maybe work towards fixing the problem. Alright, I got Michael here with me, and I'm going to ask him first and foremost to put his feet together. With straight legs, straight knees, perform a toe touch. So I'm keeping the pole here next to his legs where they were. He's performing a toe touch and he touches his toes. So what you see is not just his hamstrings are stretching out, he also shifts his hips back and he rounds his back to be able to perform the toe touch. So one more time. So here you see the vertical where he was, hip shift back, curves the spine and touches his toes. So sometimes you cannot touch your toes with some people, so maybe show that one. So what you see is less hip shift back. He struggles, he's really fighting, and he's really trying to bend everything up here to see how far down he can go. So if this is the case, at least you cannot reach your toes, try the following assessment after that. So please lie down on the mat on your back. By the way, any stick, a broomstick, this is a telescopic painting pole, anything will work. Alright, both feet, both legs flat on the mat, straight out. So if you have his hips here and his knee joint, so halfway between the hip and the knee, we're going to define about what we call mid-thigh region. So I'm going to place a pole here around mid of the thigh. So now I'm going to ask him to raise his left leg with a straight leg while keeping the other leg flat on the mat. When you see this one coming up, you ask him to stop. So if you please, you come up. So if your foot or your ankle joint clears this pole mid-thigh, then you don't have as much of a problem, really. Alright, if you were not able to clear mid-thigh, so you're beyond the knee, but not beyond the pole in that direction, so between the knee here and mid-thigh here, I would say really start doing some more work on this one, because this might become a problem, and a tight hamstring on the whole posterior chain will also challenge you further up. If I place a pole at his knees and he's not able to lift his foot past his knees, or he's really really working very hard and shaking, this is where you really need to do some work. Okay? So one of the things you could try then is, okay, is it really just a hamstring problem, or is it his entire system that's not allowing him to really use the hamstring length he might actually have? So one of the other things you can do then to test that is grab an elastic band, which you fix. I fix it to a barbell here, but anything like a pole, stairs, a table when it's heavy enough will do. So let's place this thing at hip. Yeah, we know now that he can move beyond mid-thigh. So he's going to straighten his arms, grab the dynaband, and with straight arms, pull the dynaband over to his belly button. So I pre-tension his system here. So he's now pre-tensioning the system. I feel his core working, and he's now stabilizing his pelvis too. Now try to lift up that left leg again with a straight leg. Do you feel like you have to use less effort to get up, or it even gets up higher than before? Then maybe it's not just the hamstring length, but it's more of the coordination of the system and preloading. So in that case, really focus all your efforts on strengthening this one in coordination with this. So actually, a good exercise for that is if you lift up both legs up towards the ceiling, so what I call a hamstring lower, So he's starting here, he's pulling that dynaband over, he's pressing his lower back into the mat, and now he's keeping one leg pointed straight up at the ceiling where it is, and while he lowers the other leg with a straight leg. You lower as far as you can without sacrificing this one, and you move up, and you change sides. Other side. So he's working both his core, the coordination, but actually that leg that he has to keep up and pointing, really pressing his heel up towards the sky. This hamstring is really working and stretching as well. Alright? If you're starting to get good at this and you're still struggling with your toe touch, the standing version that we started with, you start with the next exercise. What you need is, for example, 2 towels. You roll them up like this. I'm going to place one on the floor, and I'm asking him to place his heels on the towel. And the other towel you're going to squeeze between your knees. Alright? So there's a lot going on in this exercise, so bear with me. So what he's going to do is he's going to take a full deep breath in before he goes, and he's going to both breathe out and squeeze that towel hard with everything he has. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze while he's breathing out, and when he's done breathing out, he cannot reach it, he bends his knees and touches his toes. This last part is really important, so it's telling his brain every time that he does work this pattern of squeezing and breathing that he will attain success. So he's going to repeat that a couple times. Breathe in and breathe out, squeeze hard, breathe out, squeeze hard, breathe out, squeeze hard, and touch your toes. One more time in this position. He's really breathing and squeezing as hard as he can. You see already that he's starting to lower down, and every time he's having success. You do this maybe like 6 to 8 times with the heels on the towel. Now you're going to move with your toes on the towel, or your front foot. So now I'm playing with this horizon here. So now I'm actually already lengthening his posterior chain. So I'm challenging him more. He's going to do the same exercise, breathing out and squeezing that towel hard. Squeeze and breathe and touch your toes. Right. 2 more for us now. And that one. Cool. Last one. And touch your toes. Alright. If you really want to see if this had an effect, what you do is you do the regular toe touch that we did in the start, the test. You do it at the beginning. You might even measure with someone that's next to you or have a good idea of where you started. And then you do it after the exercise and see if you now either can touch your toes, or if you actually like gain 5-10 centimeters, if you gain some, this is a good exercise for you. Alright, there's a lot more that you could do, but these are a few very simple exercises and assessments you can do for hamstrings. If you're interested in more, please leave a comment below and ask anything you want to know about injuries, injury prevention, and exercises to improve your rowing.